Seen it spark on him, even though he controlled it well. Jaycee didn't wear a collar at all, and neither did Dimitri nor Kendrick, unless they put on fakes to mingle with other shifters and humans. So why did everyone worry about what Dylan would do if they disobeyed him? Jaycee didn't know. All she understood was that he was one friggin' scary feline, and she avoided meeting him without Dimitri or Kendrick nearby. Now both Kendrick and Dimitri flanked her, Kendrick quietly strong as he moved to sit on the bench in the back of the van Dylan led them to. Dimitri lounged next to Jaycee on her seat, opposite Kendrick, Dimitri's arms stretched across the back behind her shoulders. He'd been allowed to stop and put on clothes, a loose pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt that clung to his torso. Dimitri looked comfortable, unworried, while Jaycee was nervous and perspiring. Damn him for never letting anything bother him. Dimitri's red hair was still tangled from the fight, though he'd brushed it back from his forehead with a strong hand in an attempt to flatten it. Jaycee resisted the urge to reach up and smooth his hair for him. He'd only growl at her. Dylan entered the van, settling himself on a jump seat that folded from behind the closed door. This let him sit alone, apart from them. A jump seat was the extra chair for the last person who didn't quite fit, a place for the vulnerable. Dylan used it to make himself different from them, reminding them of his power.
"Jaycee Bordeaux,"
Dylan said, the lilt of Ireland in his voice marked.
"Tonight, you broke almost every rule of the Fight Club. Rules put in place to keep shifters safe. Might have broken them all if Sean hadn't showed up with the water truck."
Dimitri chuckled, a warm sound.
"You should have seen him. Oh, and..."
He trailed off, his tongue failing him, but he kept laughing. "Wet and pissed off," Jaycee finished. Yeah, that was very funny. Very wet cats and wolves had shaken themselves, fury in their eyes, shifters in human forms cursing. Only the bears had basked in it, acting like idiots as they'd enjoyed the cooling shower. Dylan didn't smile, though Kendrick's lips twitched.
"They were pissed off for more than being wet,"
Dylan said. "Oh, come on." Jaycee sat forward in her seat, her heart beating faster. "I went into the ring because that asshole drugged Dimitri. He didn't follow the rules. He had a trank. I saw the syringe. He was going to tear Dimitri apart, and the refs were doing nothing. Besides, females not being allowed to fight is just stupid. We wouldn't do it if we were pregnant or had tiny cubs. We're not complete fools. But we can best any opponent you can throw at us. I think I proved that." Dylan's gaze remained steady.
"Females fighting in an arena full of drunk males could trigger the mating frenzy. The females would have to run for their lives."
Jaycee made a derisive noise, only because male shifters are perverts. She folded her arms and thumped back in her seat. Dimitri leaned to whisper into her ear.
"Peace, Jace."
Jaycee didn't like that she shivered when his warm breath touched her, that his deep voice tickled down inside her. She hadn't been the same since Dimitri had yelled that he mate-claimed her in the middle of an argument in front of half a dozen shifters. Jaycee hadn't given him a straight answer about that yet. Hadn't accepted, but hadn't turned him down. Dimitri hadn't bugged her about it. He hadn't even touched her since that night. Therefore, their fate was undecided. No sun and moon ceremonies scheduled. Who knew if they'd ever be? Even so, Jaycee couldn't help liking Dimitri next to her. Couldn't help warming at his touch. His stammer vanished when he whispered to her, not that the stammer ever bothered her at all. It was just the way Dimitri talked. Kendrick broke in, jerking Jaycee from the cocoon of Dimitri's nearness.
"The shifters weren't as angry about a woman fighting as they were about your entering the ring during the bout,"
he pointed out.
"Any outside interference cancels the match. And they lose bets,"
Dimitri finished.
"Shifters hate that."
"Exactly," Dylan said.
"So here I am, expected to discipline you."
"That lupine was blatantly cheating," Jaycee said hotly. "Why aren't you disciplining him?" Kendrick's green eyes glinted.
"Oh, we have something in mind for him. Don't worry. He said something weird to me,"
Dimitri added.
"Before he left, he said, 'You'll be perfect.'"
Dimitri took on the growl.